Islanders fans, the Islanders are up 3-0 in this first-round series with the Pittsburgh Penguins. I'm not sure anybody had that if they were betting on how this series would unfold, thinking this was going to be very close, Jennifer, between the Isles and the Penguins. But another exciting game for the Islanders, and they earned every bit of this win.
They did, and one key for them throughout this game was the response, right? The Penguins scored first, but there was no panic in the Islanders. And for them, they have been taking it one game at a time, one shift at a time, and that was evident here this afternoon. I mean, they came in saying, you know what, Barry Trotz said, sometimes this team is even more calm and more resilient on the road, and that was clear here tonight. And again, you know what, Trotz said, you know, I thought we could even tighten up even more coming into this game 3, and they certainly did that in terms of shutting down that high-powered Pittsburgh offense. So a lot that this Islanders team should be proud of this afternoon.
We spoke about it in the first 2 games, the fact that Jordan Eberle was not exactly pleased with his playoff experience and what he had going on in Edmonton. With the Islanders, he wanted to be a key piece of their success. That is definitely evident. He now has a goal in each of the first 3 games in this series. The first Islander to do that since Ray Ferraro did it back in 1994 in the Islanders playoff series. So Jordan Eberle, again, fantastic in this one and a big part of their win.
Yeah, and he's been really embracing this whole approach by the Islanders. And speaking to him throughout the course of this series, it's been about enjoying it and rising up to the occasion. He's been a great example there. Look at him early in game 1, getting a nice goal. But he's been very noticeable throughout the series, taking the puck to the net with authority, finishing on his shots and his passes, just making the most of those chances, generating a lot of offense. But it's just positioning as well, away from the puck. And there's a nice look at his goal tonight. Again, you're finding that time in the space, and he's not complacent by any means. For him, it's working hard on the puck and then away from the puck, which is generating all those opportunities for himself. And his line has been so good, and he sort of credits a lot to Barzal and Lee as well. He says, you know what, Barzal and I tend to see and to read the game in similar fashion. So they both like to carry the play, but obviously they're creating a lot of strong chemistry, and great to see Eberle being such an impact player here for the Islanders.
You mentioned the response of this Islanders team, and that's something they've been very good at through the regular season and into the postseason. Brock Nelson rising to the occasion, being able to do that, because when Eberle scores, it's Nelson who, you know, about a minute later says, all right, let's make this a 2-1 lead for them. Brock Nelson, if we had time, we could probably sit here and talk about him for an hour. We had that many plays that we wanted to show of how he was an impact in this game.
And tonight was a good example. I mean, Brock has been so consistent for this team over the course of the past few months, and tonight was an excellent example. And when the Pens tried to match up Crosby against Nelson's line, he was certainly up to the challenge, playing very strong defensively. Here's a look where they come in on the rush on a 2-on-1, a beautiful shot on the far post. But again, for Nelson, it was end-to-end action, and for him, being strong defensively and then creating those offensive opportunities. A nice pass across the crease by Nelson. Again, a nice, glorious chance just at the top of the crease. He was noticeable all night, and I talked to Nelson, you know, just yesterday about his personal play, that it seems like he's really elevated his game, and he actually gave a lot of credit to Trotz. He said coming into this season, Trotz really wanted all of us to make the most of our opportunities, and he felt really proud of the confidence that Trotz had given him, which has certainly correlated to his on-ice performance. But he's just been steady, been consistent, and great to see him get another goal here tonight.
And yes, it is part of what Brock Nelson has been able to do in the game. But in our Northwell Health different look, a team effort for his goal.
And this is what the Islanders would call, you know, classic Islander hockey, where everybody is involved in the play, and their defensive zone being strong. Taves getting puck position on the Penguins. Mayfield quick to jump in and get the puck. Look for a breakout pass option. Nelson and Kuhnhackl both jumping into good supportive positions along the boards. They both battle together, get the puck into the neutral zone. Again, another very smart chip here by Kuhnhackl to get the puck in towards the offensive zone, entering it with speed. Bailey, nice positioning on the offside. makes Murray think about it, and then Nelson shoots a shot, and a nice shot right in off of the post. But again, a collective team effort. You saw every Islander player being involved in that defensive zone coverage, creating the opportunity, that quick transition, and a beautiful 2-on-1 finish.
So far, we've had a chance to talk about two guys who you would consider veterans. They had playoff experience. Islanders did have a handful of young players coming into this series with Pittsburgh who didn't have that playoff experience, and Anthony Beauvillier was one of them. He looks like he's having a great time. Had had an assist on that goal in the third period.
Yeah, and he was great. Even from, game one of this series, that we noticed his speed and his intensity in his battles, and being key on the forecheck tonight was another element. This is very early in the game. His first shift of the game comes in strong, applies pressure on the Penguins' defense. The Islanders create the turnover and keep the puck in the offensive zone. Here's another example. Late in the second, same thing. Beauvillier's hustling, moving his feet, applying that pressure. Another example where the Islanders keep that puck in and try to generate a shooting opportunity. That was all started and initiated by Beauvillier. Here he is going to the net on a 2-on-1. Glorious opportunity, just missed, but he was very involved in the play in a lot of different areas. And then late in the game, involved in this one, makes a very smart, just tip back to Komarov, who finishes that one off. But for a young player, showing some nice poise and some nice intensity throughout this game 3.